Greetings, I'm Tim of Govberg, and welcome to the world of IWC. Today we'll be discussing the proper use, care, and maintenance of the IWC Big Pilot's Watch Edition Le Petite Prince reference 5009-16. This is an automatic winding timepiece that nevertheless can be manually wound, having threaded the crown out from its position flush against the case. Turn it in a clockwise direction until the movement of the seconds hand can be seen. At this point, the watch can be worn on the wrist, and the natural course of kinetic energy on the wrist will continue to wind the movement up to its rated power reserve of 168 hours or 7 days. It's important to note that should you wish to wind the watch to a complete power reserve, it cannot be overwound. As an automatic timepiece, the bridle mainspring will slip, relieving tension and preventing damage. It's also important to note that the watch features two refinements that can aid in setting the time and the date should the watch run down. The first is known as hacking or stop seconds. By pulling the crown to its extremity, the outermost position, the balance halts, the seconds hand ceases to move, and now the watch can be set precisely to a known accurate reference time, such as an atomic clock. Once the time is set, the quick set date function, available in the second crown position, allows the watch to be set such that should the watch run down or encounter an irregular length month, it can rapidly be corrected to show the proper date. It is important, however, that the quick set date function never be engaged between the hours of 9 p.m. and 3 a.m. This is the extended period during which the automatic jump mechanism of the date is engaged, and manually altering the date during this period can damage the movement. So take precautions and avoid changing the date manually between 9 p.m. and 3 a.m. Once the time and the date have been set and the watch has been wound, thread the crown down to the position flush with the case. This ensures the factory-rated hermeticity of 6 ATM or 60 meters. It's important to note that IWC recommends at least 6 ATM water resistance for water sports and swimming, so this watch is secure for those activities. However, the watch must not be worn in the water with a leather strap, as this porous natural material will absorb moisture and consequently degrade at an accelerated rate. Put the watch on a textile strap available from IWC for use in waterborne conditions. Furthermore, it's important that the crown always be screwed down, threaded in all the way to ensure the factory-rated hermeticity. Never unscrew the crown or operate any of its functions when the watch is wet or submerged, as this can bypass the seals and introduce moisture to the interior of the watch. Should moisture of any kind ever be seen underneath the crystal, immediately take the watch to an IWC authorized retailer such as an independent dealer or boutique for rapid attention. Otherwise, cosmetic and mechanical damage to the watch can result. It's also important to note that water resistance is not a permanent feature of a timepiece. As it leaves the factory, a water has the rated water resistance intact, but the aging of seals and lubricants for the caseback, for the crown, for the sapphire mean that it's important to have the watch tested on an annual basis to ensure rated hermeticity is retained. This can be done at any IWC authorized retailer, boutique, or independent dealer. It's also important to note, with respect to water, that should the watch ever be exposed to salt water or water with high levels of contaminants such as chlorine, that the timepiece should be washed off with fresh water afterwards and dried thoroughly. Finally, it's also important to note that the watch could be subject to magnetism in extreme cases. Although the IWC Pilot's Watch line features a soft iron paramagnetic cage to protect the hairspring from powerful magnetic fields, there are certain magnetic devices, such as professional medical MRIs, that could overcome that shielding. Should you suspect that the watch has become magnetized, either because it's running too slow or too fast after exposure to a possible source, take it to an authorized retailer of IWC where specialized equipment is available to demagnetize the timepiece on the site. It's also important to note that IWC recommends a full service every 2 to 5 years for its mechanical timepieces, and that it recommends doing this exclusively at authorized dealers such as independent retailers or boutiques, which have exclusive access to the trained personnel, specialized equipment, and original factory replacement parts to preserve both the value and the functional integrity of your timepiece. For full access to manuals and instructions describing the care, usage, and maintenance of this watch, visit IWC.com, and for step-by-step instructions regarding how to use and care for this watch, call our specialists on our website, govbergwatches.com.